Hey guys, welcome back to the settlement series. Today we're going to be cleaning up and building more around Sanctuary, but before we get into that, I have two things I need to tell you. The first thing is that you may notice some stuff is incongruent with how we left it at the end of last time. I have not worked outside of the previous episode at all.
I need to be alone.
It's actually the opposite of that. The game had crashed at the end of the last recording, and I tried to get most things back the way they had been, but some stuff is going to be a little bit different, obviously. The next thing I need to tell you is, well, I guess you already know. Welcome to Super Speed. Not all of my commentary on this video is going to be live. Actually, most of it is going to be recorded after the fact, and this is just because it's a little bit easier to kind of tell you what I'm doing and show you a whole lot of stuff happening at once without it being tedious and horrible to watch, maybe. So let me know how I'm doing on that front. I've tried to make this kind of a nice watching experience. Maybe it's even satisfying for some of you. I'm not really sure, but there we go. I've finally cleaned out the first house. It's something I was reluctant to do because I was actually feeling a little bit sentimental about our character's home and her belongings that she had pre-war, but they're not exactly doing us a whole lot of good by sitting there and being crap. So I figured it'd be better to scrap them and make them into something else. In this case, that being a ladder and a slot of flooring. So you're probably wondering what I'm doing. Well, I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to get some flooring pieces or roof pieces to clip into the house. I selected this one because it seems to be the sturdiest. There's the least light shining through when you look at it from the bottom. And I imagine that that will be quite nice if I can somehow manage to get this in place. It will make me very happy not to have all those holes. So you see me come over here and like kind of measure the length of the house with these flooring pieces, which is probably stupid, but I did it anyway, and I've convinced myself that this is the right size that it needs to be to cover all of the interior ceiling area of the house. So I don't know how to get it inside, and my big brain idea is to put a piece of walling on it somewhere. The walling serves a separate purpose too, because it will let me kind of measure if the ceiling is going to be straight or not. Assuming that I can get the wall piece to be exactly parallel with the house wall, we should be able to safely assume that it is going to be in place and make the house look a lot better. That's the idea anyway, but I don't really know how to move this stuff. I don't know how to get this in place. I'm trying to use the rug. I'm trying to put down different types of wall. I don't know. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of trial and error, which is part of why I decided that super speed might be the way to go. You'll see, I've just discovered that I can pick up the whole entire thing with or without the use of the rug. But the hard part comes from trying to align it, because it's like my character's blocked by that one wall in the kitchen. I cannot actually move my character far enough to the back to get this in place. So it's not working. So I try a piece of flooring, and that's just making it stick up too high. So at this point, it's looking like maybe the rug really is the way to go. Not necessarily because I need the rug to help me no-clip this structure into place. This structure seems happy to no-clip itself into place as long as you grab it the right way and place it the right way. The purpose of the rug is more for providing a user-determined handhold for moving this structure. At least that's how it seems to me, because I can place it, and therefore I can decide how far I want the structure away from me and what angle I want it at when I move it. So it looks like I've got a pretty good hold on this thing now. So if I rotate it a bit and carefully inch it into place, it looks like if I can just commit to this, we'll have a success. So there we go, guys. We now have a ceiling and some walls. Well, not really some walls, because these are clipping unpleasantly, so they're gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna leave the one on the outside though, because it's not really bothering me. It's just kind of filling a gap between some of those squares on the outside, and it's not a big deal. We are gonna have to do something about these windows, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about the garage, but the inside looks pretty good at this point. I'm really satisfied with this. That is until I notice that there's stuff sticking out one of the sides. Is it gonna bother me to remove that? Because it is gonna add like a small gap. And I'm not really sure how that happened at this point, because didn't I line all this up perfectly? I suppose that part of the roof was actually intended to go over the garage over here, but because I chose the front living room window to align from, it did not go this far over. I could have tried aligning it from the garage, from outside. That may be an easier way to do this, but I didn't do that, and I'm not really gonna redo it, so I think I'm just gonna remove those and call it good, because I really do think it's not a bad job for my first try. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Are you happy that our house can now have a roof? Have you put a roof on the house like this before? And if you haven't, are you gonna go do it now? Let me know. I'm very curious. I would like to think that maybe I've taught somebody something, or that I've discovered something cool or done something neat, but I don't really know. Anyway, time to slap a door on this entry point. I'm pretty sure I had a door on this before, but I don't really remember, and it doesn't really matter. It's not hard for us to put one back on there, so yeah. Moving right along, we can take our faithful rug outside and see if any of these walls can be slapped onto the window at the front. I think it would be nice if we could retain the ability to look out the window and wave at our neighbors and everything, but not at the expense of having it hang off the sides of the window alcove like that. That's just so offensive looking. In fact, it is offensive looking to the point that I have a temporary moment of insanity and I try to fix it with a piece of wall that's absolutely not gonna work. And even if it would work, this is super ugly. Why would I try to put this here? I have no idea what I was doing. I have no idea what this was about. But thankfully, the attempt is short-lived. We're going to scrap that right up and try to put something else there. I'm not sure at this point which wall will work, so we're just going to have to keep trying. And I'm actually going to use my welcome mat to scoot this one with. I mean, hey, why not? So yeah, if we stick it further over to the left or to the right, if you're viewing from outside, you can see that we've kind of made it work, but I hate how that plywood's hanging off, so I can't leave it like that. The only reason I let it be that way in the first place was because I was hoping the plywood would cover up the hole in the wall next to the window, but that didn't even happen, so it's like we're just absolutely losing, and there's no success anywhere. But now I'm gonna try this weird tilted piece of wall. The idea is that if I can line it up here this way, it will lean out and kind of fill out the window, and it seems to have worked. I mean, it looks a little bit shabby in a couple places, but overall that's the best fit that I think we are going to see out of these pieces. And now I am still left to worry about that weird open space next to the front window. So I have this tiny piece of shack wall that at some angles kind of will clip into the house. If you look, you can see it occasionally thinks about going, but I think the main problem with it is that it's just too tall. It's clipping with the ceiling tiles that I put in place, so there's basically no hope of this fitting here at all, which is sad because it would have been a nice fix. But you know what? We're pretty clever. I'm sure we can think of something else to cover that space with. I think about maybe putting a corner outside. I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea, because even if this corner did work, do I really want that annoying tin shingle roof piece to be sticking out in the middle of the living room? I just don't think that would look good. So moving on, furniture is my next best bet. It looks like some of these pieces of furniture are tall enough and they would be able to cover it, but I'm not sure I want to commit to putting a bookshelf or something there right now. So how about we take a look at the wall coverings instead, of which there are very, very many. I thought it might be nice to put one of these historical paintings there. I'm pretty sure this one is Paul Revere, and this one, maybe John Adams, not really sure. But one thing I learned pretty quickly about these paintings is that they are either too wide or too small to cover this hole. My best bet seems to be using two of the smaller ones and stacking them one on top of the other, but even that is just, it's not going. It's like clipping in the wall. It's not looking good. So I end up giving up on paintings, and I decided to take a look at these electric posters, which I imagine will be pretty cool when they're lit up. And I like many of the designs, though I did settle on this silver shroud one because I'm really enjoying that little radio show that we listen to sometimes. The result makes me pretty happy so far, so assuming that it's not going to be expelling light outside whenever it's plugged in, I think that'll solve that problem. Though now I am thinking about electricity. I'm wondering how I'm going to power these things, because I do have the generator house across the street, but I don't have wires over on this side yet, and I don't like the sounds that the generators make, so I don't necessarily want to put one in my house. So I'm thinking about wires and stuff, which is an area that I'm not well versed on, as you will see. It's not a system that I am used to or comfortable with at all. So I'm just kind of jumping around at the moment, wondering why it's not attaching any wires, despite the fact that if I look at the options, attach wire is not one of them. I now believe this is because attach wire is an option that appears on powered things like, you know, the generators themselves or the power pylons they are attached to. So I should probably try to attach it from there to here, but I'm not going to do that right now. Apparently what I'm going to do right now is think about marquee signs. I would like to use one at some point, not for our house though. I have a different idea for why I would want to use one of those, but that's something we're going to get to a little bit later, guys. Right now, I'm still trying to work on my house, and I want to fix that kitchen wall because that wall in particular is a disgrace. As you know, and as anybody who would ever pass by the backside of our house knows, that is the worst wall ever. It's more offensive than the front window being busted out, even though the front window did take precedence for me because it's on the street facing side. This is just horrifying. Almost as horrifying as whatever my cat has just done. Hang on. It's fine, he just knocked over some stuff, you know how it is with little kitties. He's being very sweet now, so we can go back to the game and we can place this wall. Yeah! Great! It actually looks pretty good. I'm happy with that result. This one has chicken wire here, and the one in front of the sink has a bit of chicken wire like that, so they seem to match and look like maybe they're supposed to be that way. It seems very intentionally done, which is what I've been going for, but now we run into an unintentional problem. Yeah, I've noticed that the ceiling is offset by, I don't know, about a foot, and that's really unfortunate. If we go out the front door, you can see that the missing overhang is out here. I just didn't take into account when I was trying to measure and place this ceiling that maybe it wasn't all square. I mean, the house seems super square, but it's not. Like, some of the windows have alcoves, the door is sticking into the living room a bit, and I just messed it up. I just missed it. I don't think it's bad enough that I'm gonna do anything about it. I'm pretty sure that whenever the inside of the house is furnished and I've had all my fun decorating and putting things all about, that it is going to not be horribly noticeable. Yes, in the daytime you are gonna see some of these light beams slipping in, but it's not nearly as bad as it once was, and I don't think it is so terrible that I'm not going to be able to live with myself for this mistake. Though it's not great. So if you were gonna do this for yourself, maybe add an extra ceiling part, let it hang off the back of your house, pretend there's a patio out there or something. I don't know, there's probably ways you can make this look better than how I've made it look, but it is what it is, and I'm just gonna keep moving forward with it. I know that most people probably wouldn't advise me to keep moving forward while I'm making a bunch of small mistakes like that, but honestly, I just don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into a rut where I feel like any small mistake needs to be corrected, because I don't want to be a perfectionist about my settlement. I just want to have a nice settlement. I want to make things look a little bit better, but I'm not going to freak out if things aren't exactly right. I'll try to fix them if they really bother me, but for the most part, I'm just going to do whatever I feel like. And right now, I feel like cleaning up Sean's room, because what if we get him back? Like, what if he comes back and he doesn't have a nice room? So, you know, we can just kind of keep all of his toys here for him. I'm not going to keep these tables, though. Like, I just don't think that's necessary. I will keep that lamp. It's a good lamp. And, yeah. let's head outside. I want to see how that wall we just put in is looking, because it may look fine from the inside, but that doesn't mean the outside is not a total train wreck. And guess what? Oh boy, it sure is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this one. I can't leave this one alone. I know I just said that I wouldn't try to overcorrect everything that I've done and be a perfectionist about things, but I think in this one case, it's reasonable for me to put this wall in differently, and I much prefer the look it has now. I know more of it is clipping to the outside of the house, but I think it looks better that way. It looks more uniform with the kitchen, and speaking of the kitchen, I think I can probably align the sink window better from the outside. So I'm going to work on that. And there we go. I have some measure of success, though I hate the double effect that the chain link has. If you look, you can see that it's not pretty that way. So I'm going to yoink out the one from inside the kitchen, and it makes the tile look so much better on the inside, and the outside just looks great. So it's a patchwork house for sure, but I think I am making really good progress on turning our home into a happy one. However, I then decided to do some kind of absolute utter nonsense with this piece of shack wall again. I don't know why I am so apparently enamored with this stuff in particular. Maybe I can find a use for it somewhere else, but I think I should keep it away from our house. We don't even need to do anything else to the back side of this building. It's not like any rooms I would put out here would get much utility since they're not easily accessible from inside the house anyway. And I don't know, maybe I'll want to use the backyard for something else. So yeah, we still have some walls inside to fix. I should probably organize some of this furniture real quick. I do want to make sure I keep this chair from Mama Murphy, so I'm gonna delicately put it in the corner over here. Right about there, I think. Yeah, there we go. Is that lined up? Yeah, that looks pretty lined up with the walls, so okay. All right. Do I want to do anything else inside while we're in here? Can admire my handiwork with these walls. And knock over the lamp apparently. But yeah, I don't know how to fix this, if I'm being honest with you. And I know I need to do something with these windows, but again, maybe that's a problem for another day, because I've done quite a bit to fix up our house, and whenever I decide to finish those walls, well, they'll be waiting for me right where they are. In the meantime, though, I kind of want to put something useful in this closet up here. I think this cabinet looks like it will fit well, and if I can just shimmy it into place, it would be pretty cool, because we could use the closet space as an actual closet by putting things in this cabinet. Though it's fighting me a little bit about going in. I'm sure we can make it work. I just need to kind of grab it at an angle. See, this is why the rug is so helpful. I've almost got it where I want it to be, but it's almost always a little crooked. That looks all right, though. I'd like to have a light source above it. Maybe I can put this lamp up here. It's not like the lamp has electricity going to it, so it's not gonna light up. I assume we can make that light up, but you can't really put a wire going to it, so we might be better off using a more solid piece of lighting equipment. How about that inset light there? Does that look okay? I thought it kind of did. I want to do something about this decrepit looking bookshelf, but I'm really not sure what to do. I don't think we can get any items to sit on the shelf and look nice. Maybe I could find some piece of furniture that's big enough to sit in front of it somehow. And I mean, I don't know, maybe if we put a magazine stand here and put magazines on it, it would kind of hide it, but it's kind of just trash either way, and I don't know how to decorate that. But I'm sure we'll figure something out eventually. One thing I have noticed about my very limited use of the settlement system is that it is extremely easy to overwhelm yourself with things that you want to do. It starts out with, oh, I want to repair this house, and then moves into, oh, I want to decorate this house, and then suddenly you realize the Vault Tech rep has shown shown up in your hometown, and you have to drop everything that you're thinking or trying to do in order to build him a nice place to live. So that's my next big goal. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do with that, but I kind of have dreams of making him the local trader guy. I mean, he's got how many hundreds of years of sales experience? That's a pretty good resume to me. Good enough for me to even finally decide to remove one of the ruined houses. I was keeping them for the aesthetic, believe it or not, but if we can make this into a house for him, that will be a better use, especially if I'm fixing up the houses around the area with some of the wooden shack pieces. If I built him a nice wood structure, it would blend in. And yet, here I am looking at these strange metal structures and prefabs because I just think they look so cool. The very large one is not even going to fit in the space that I have designated to be the Vault-Tec rep's property, but that's not going to stop me from thinking about it or from trying. I do want to one day use the metal structure prefab just because I am so into it. I don't know why I'm so into that metal structure, but I really enjoy the look of the metal things in this game, and I'd like to use them at some point. Though in the interest of not overwhelming myself with yet another thing that I think would be fun to do, that's gonna go right on the back burner, and we're going to instead focus on building a solid foundation for our future. Get it? Because we're working on the floor. That was just, oh yeah, that was, oh, good joke. Oh, so funny. I'm so glad that I'm recording this as post-commentary where I have the ability to remove these terrible jokes if I want to, but I'm gonna leave them in. Because of course I'm going to leave them in. There was truly never another option. And from where else will you derive your enjoyment while you watch me put this floor together, huh? Because there's really nothing to say about it. All I have to do is inch it forward, and there it is. It's done. It's in place. And I think it is taking up exactly where the house used to be. So I'm going to call that a good job. Though I will point out, if you look on the back and at the front, you can see that 3 rows or columns. I think this would be considered rows, but maybe it's columns. You can, you know, pick your favorite. It's whichever one. These 3 rows / columns are not taking up exactly all of the concrete foundation. And that's what we ran into with the ceiling before as well. The same issue where it seems like these are just not quite the right size to fill the space that was occupied by the sanctuary houses. It's a little weird that they are so strangely sized compared to the settlement assets, but it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that I don't have the materials to build this electric elevator right now, so I gotta go on a little bit of a scrapping spree. Luckily for us, our neighbors were kind enough to leave us plenty of materials to use for our building endeavors. So I'm gonna hurry around everywhere, and I'm gonna take as much stuff as I see fit to take, which to no one's surprise is not an insignificant amount of things, but hey, guess what? Cat stash. I had to make sure that you noticed that I found that, just because if you didn't see it, you may not have believed it. And I don't believe that we finally have enough materials to build one of these elevators. And now is the big dilemma, because I have to decide which one I want to actually commit to. They're basically all the same structure, except with different amounts of floors. I feel like 4 floors is too many, and 2 floors isn't enough. So say hello to our new 3-floor elevator. I'm thinking the bottom floor can be kind of like the shopping area, and the middle floor can be the apartment that our friend, the Vault-Tec rep, can actually live in, and then the rooftop of the place can be our rooftop party zone and a watchtower? I have no idea. I don't know. I just feel like 4 was too many, but 3 is just right. You know what's not just right, though? The fact that I have completely lost the plot for what I'm supposed to be doing, which is building the Vault-Tec rep his place, and I'm now back over at my place making this metal monstrosity. Girl, stop. Girl, quit. You're making yourself look stupid on the internet. Look at that. Tear it down. There you go. Get rid of all of it. And now I'm immediately going to consider constructing more of it. But for the Vault Tech rep, please, just don't do this. Do not do this. I know you like the metal structures, honey. I know you do. Just don't do it. It's not a look. It's not the thing. Like, look at that. Why am I obsessed with that? Who would want to live in that except perhaps a sardine who misses his home, huh? And I'm not even gonna keep that door there because I hate that bush. That stupid bush is right in the middle of where the door should be, and I don't wanna feel like that's in the walkway. So what am I supposed to do? Is there any wall that has an off-center door? Well, if there is, I'm gonna find it, and I did. It has to be this powered door here. But whenever you put it down normally, it defaults to like the stupidest possible position where it's absolutely 100% the opposite way of how I need it to be. How am I supposed to fix that? Well, I'll tell you how to fix that. You rip up the floor, for one. You put down a piece of wall for the door to snap to so it'll be in the correct position. And there we have it. Check it out. We can even look at it from the street and you can see that it kind of has this pathway in front of it. It's almost like we didn't even have a problem. We can just put the piece of floor back and probably replace that tin looking sort of wall with a wooden one, because having this door that is encased in wood has been the first thing that has happened that seems to have been able to cure my metal structure fever. Yeah, I'm laughing, but it's a real problem, and I'm sure it's a problem that will come back to haunt us another day. But for now, having a wooden entryway has inspired me to make at least the first floor of this building also be wooden. You can see I'm using some of these shack pieces that I'm also like obsessed with somehow. I don't even know why. They're not particularly better looking than anything else, but you saw me try to put two of them on my own house. Like, I clearly have a thing for these somehow. And maybe we can make them work. I have plans for how I want the front part of this to look, and I think they'll help me achieve that look. But we have run out of wood. We don't actually have enough supplies to keep going, so we're gonna have to go visit our friend Daisy, who is willing to sell us bulk shipments of building supplies in order to get the rest of this built out. So here we are in Good Neighbor. Hey, Daisy.
Daisy, got some good deals. You won't believe what's in the is it food or not section.
Yeah, girl, I don't believe it now.
Let's see what you have.
Cash or trade? Let's get started.
Kind of sorry to the neighborhood watchman guy because I just completely snubbed and ignored him, but I think he was saying something about the Rexford, and we've already partied in the Rexford. We've met our, new BFF for life from there. So, just gonna ignore him completely and get to selling. I'm going to give her exactly the price of the item I want, and then to clear her out of her cap inventory, I'm gonna give her a few of these 10mm rounds. We don't really use them at all. They're nice to have, I guess, in an emergency, but the only emergency I'm having right now is for building supplies. And with that out of the way, let's pop quickly back up to Sanctuary, because you know my rule about having fun adventures when I'm supposed to be sequestering myself off to Sanctuary to build. We're doing better than last time, though.
We still ain't perfect, but we're surviving.
Wow, that's the most positive thing I've ever heard Marcy say in her whole entire miserable life. Let's quick save for luck and get right back to it. Okie dokie, back into build mode, and I think I want to put an end cap on this shack wall here because I don't like how it's opened, and we need to close that up. So if I can just remember where I saw those corner pieces. Were they in walls? Oh yeah, here they are. If we can just put one of these corner pieces on here, like so, maybe that will be good. I'm not sure that it is. Oh no. Yeah, I really don't like how it's overlapping the door. You see how the roof is kind of like right in front of the door? If we walk in the door like that, I mean, assuming the door was working, I just feel like it obstructs it. So that's not great. What does it look like from the inside? Oh, it's kind of cute. You could put some secret storage there or something maybe, but it's really not looking good from the outside. I don't like that. So let's not scrap the wrong piece. Let's get rid of this one. And what else am I gonna do for that? This one's gonna look just as weird because it's the roof that's the problem, not the walls. Oh, here we go. Is that what this weird piece is for? Oh, it is. I was wondering what that weird shape was intended to be used for, and I guess it's just a sidewall. That works. I mean, you know, that's not perfect, but it's working. Kinda. I can't decide how I feel about it, but I think I'm gonna keep it. Okay, what do we want to put on this side? I'm thinking we need some of these leaning out walls to balance out how far the other side sticks out, because if it was just flat, it would look weird. So I'm gonna put some of these over on this side. I'm not sure which one I want to use. I kind of want to have windows on this bit so you can kind of look outside while you're riding the elevator up, I guess. I don't want to put a door. If I was going to put a door, I'd put it on this side. But I don't really want to have another entryway. Like, I'm putting all that effort into using the electrified door. I mean, not electrified as in you'll get electrified when you use the door. That would not be a very good door. You know what I mean, the powered door. Okay, that seems to be working. I don't want to put one that's exactly the same on the back side, though. Maybe I'll put different walls back there, because these are going to balance out the front. And I think that looks good. I mean, obviously it's very scant over there near the elevator, but you'll definitely be able to see out while you're riding. So, I mean, technically my goal is achieved. What are we going to do around the rest of this place, though? Do we want to put some of these plywood-looking walls? Maybe some of these plank walls? I do like the plank walls. And I like whenever they have the chicken wire or chain link, whatever you want to call it, for you to look out. It's a window. It's a little bit of a ratchet window, but it is what it is. Let's put a plank wall here and a plywood wall on the other side. Nice. All right, next I'm going to clean out the generator house. Yes, it was previously just a generator room in this house, but I think the whole house is probably going to end up being generators because we're never going to have enough science to build the efficient generators. We're just far too stupid. So we need to consider alternative power sources, like maybe that windmill that I thought was too ugly to build. Don't worry, we'll figure something out. It's just gonna take a little bit to do. I don't exactly know what's going on at the moment. I'm thinking about stairs. Why am I thinking about stairs? We have an elevator. Why would I bother with stairs when we have an elevator? This just kind of seems dumb and makes the elevator that I worked so hard to create pointless. So I'm gonna smartly quit going in that direction. And now I'm gonna start thinking about walls again, because I'm not sure about running lines to the generator house, even though I just cleaned it up to make it into the generator house. So here I am considering building like a small little room next to the elevator specifically to put the generators in, or something stupid like that. Not my proudest moment, I will say, but live and learn. I kind of wanted to use one of these prefab squares for the shack because I like that they have solid walls. I don't know why only these prefabs have solid walls. I feel like that should be an option for maybe some other constructible pieces, but you know, nobody asked me my opinion, so I guess it is what it is, and we have to use these if we want that. You'll see that I actually turned this 90 degrees because I wanted the floor slats to be running in the same direction as they are throughout the rest of the building. And I just honestly feel kind of attacked that the settlement system is not letting me choose what direction the floors will run in. Like, I feel like my creative freedoms are being stripped from me, and I'm no longer a free person to live my best life and do whatever I want to do. But I mean, you know, hey, it is what it is. I mean, I guess we just got to make the best of the situation. And I'm making the best of the situation by putting generators in this sad and dark generator closet. You'll see they don't even want to go in. They're like very scared of fitting in this terrifying little cubby that I've made for them. And I can't really blame them. I wouldn't want to be shoved in there either. But pretty much immediately after placing them, I realized my mistake because they are very loud and I hate them. I hate having them in my building. That's why I didn't want to put one in my house. But I thought maybe I could stand it over here. I was wrong. I can't stand it. So I have to move them. But I had so much trouble with that wire. I do not know how to undo this kind of thing. Like, how am I supposed to unhook that? Is it even possible to unhook that? I don't believe that it is. I ended up just storing the whole thing so that I could slide it over here. Maybe. It's in storage. It's fine. But suddenly, I have discovered this shops. I discovered the stores. And I truly feel like the perks that I need to just make things in this game are going to be my original cause of my slow, uncomfortable descent into insanity. I swear, guys, I don't want to use my perks on this. I want to use my perks on hitting people in the face with a baseball bat. But I have to use my perks to build, like, shops? Are you joking? I have to put my perks into, like, ridiculous shop building local leader big spender nonsense so that I can have a settlement that's working the way I want to? Ooh, I hate it. And I know we can get all the perks in the world. I could fill out this whole entire poster if I wanted to, and I could max all of our attributes at 10. But since when has that been fun to anybody? I'm sorry if that's like a personal slight against you because that's what you dream about every night. But I just can't, guys. It's just, oh. No, thank you, sir. It's too much. It's too controlling. And I can hear you now in the comments saying, Missy, actually, I put all my perks into the Christmas tree. And I only needed 5 years of personal therapy. And you know, that's great. I'm proud of you, honey. I love you so much. But I just don't feel like it gives me a sense of character development. You know, it's not making me feel fulfilled. It's not giving me something that feels like a goal I'm working towards. It's giving me a box I have to click and put numbers into. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like an interesting perk. It feels like something that every character should probably have going into building with the settlement system. And I get that part of this stuff was like, oh, the settlement system's optional. Play the whole game without even doing it. Cool. Great. Thank you, Todd. I'm glad that you are one of my commenters now. But also, I don't know. This has been a Missy rant. I hope you like it. I've filled out some of the time where I'm derping around with shack corners and doing stupid stuff to this building just because I wanted to use some of the more interesting set pieces, and I'm about to actually discover something for the first time. Because if you've been paying attention, you've been noticing that I've not been storing everything in the workshop storage. I've actually been scrapping most of it. I was totally unaware until right about now that if I scrap something, I don't get the full value of the item back. I've wasted materials by just scrapping things, but I mean, you know, it's live and learn. It's live and learn. See, look, I've discovered it. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking about it. I'm going, oh no, I need to commit to some pieces because I can't just keep doing this. So what am I going to do? I'm trying to pick pieces that I will love and want to keep forever, which apparently might be stairs. No, I put the stairs away. I knew better than to use the stairs, but I'm thinking about putting some of these buildings on the back so we have a few walls that are solid. I'm not sure if I want to segment off parts of the lower room or not. I kind of want to keep it open concept because it is supposed to be the shopping part. Maybe we could put some aisles through here. Maybe we can put some displays. Maybe we can put some weird corners. Or here's a wacky idea. Why don't we put some power to this nice elevator that we've built? I think the wire should be able to reach. Is it clipping through this piece? What if I move this piece and then bring it back later? Will that make the wire go? Ta-da! No? Not ta-da? Okay, let's scoot this back a bit. And no. It's still a no. Huh. I guess I need to put a smaller pylon here for it to connect to. I mean, this is just a temporary fix. It's not going to be here forever because that would be super tacky. There! I can use the elevator now. Oh, cool! Look! Up we go! Yeah! Nice! And I've even got the floors up here to go in the right direction. Proud of me. Let's put down maybe some more of them. Can I put one on top of this prefab? Please. I want to keep that. But only if I can... Oh no. Yes! Okay, so we can. All right, yeah, yeah, I can... Oh yeah, I can handle that. I can deal with that. I need to put more stuff down on this side, but I don't want to keep wasting materials, and I'm not sure exactly what I want. Like, I was thinking about having this one here. It doesn't want to snap back into place. So it was kind of clipping with the wire, though not maybe in the way that we expected. Okay. Let's go back up top. We have to call the elevator back down. It is a little bit slower than just taking the stairs or something, but I think it was worth it to build. It's pretty fun to ride on the elevator. It's neat. It's nifty. So I'm not really sure what to work on next, but I'll get something done. And I'll get it done under the effect of super speed, because how many times am I going to force you guys to watch me lay down the same floors and the same walls? Like, how many times have you watched me do this by now? Like, more than once, and that's kind of disgraceful. But, I mean, you know, I just don't know what I'm doing. I just don't know what I want to do. You'll see that I've left a couple prefabs in here because I just like the variety. I like having a bit of everything going on with this ramshackle looking kind of place. So back over on this side, let's slap around some more shack pieces and think about what we're gonna do with the edge of the building over here. I don't want to go ahead and close it up, because if I did, I'd have no way in because the door is not yet hooked to power. So that's going to be something we'll do in a minute. I've just noticed that the floor is not all running the same direction. This is something I've mentioned earlier, but I need to flip a couple pieces of flooring so that this at least looks intentional, because at this point I don't want to get rid of that prefab, so I will just give us a checkered pattern on the floor. I don't think it's bad at all. I'll probably put some floor covering down and that'll be okay. I wish I could go ahead and put him a store booth in here, but alas, we cannot. My poor dude, look at him. He just wants a place to be. He just wants a meaning in his little ghouly life, and I could give him that for the low price of perk points, I guess. Look, we need cap collector rank 2 and local leader rank 2. That's 4 entire perk points. I don't even have 4 right now. I've got 3, which would get us most of the way there, but we need 2 ranks in cap collector, and if we go down to local leader, look, I actually need 2 extra points because we need 6 charisma to be able to take even the first rank of that. And I don't even know what the level restrictions are on those, so this is probably not stuff we're going to do anytime soon, and I'm not going to put points into Charisma or Big Spender right now, so I guess we'll go back to building. I want to start working on the electrical stuff, so I guess now's as good a time as any to try and learn about conduits. And boy, are they kind of confusing. I think this wall pass is our best bet at getting power put normally into the place. And there we go, it succeeded. This looks maybe not up to code, and yet somehow it has struck me with the inspiration I needed to go remove our sad small pylons and build some of the larger pylons. This is completely pointless, and I'm gonna really super duper speed this for you because you don't need to see me placing these pylons delicately and inching them and moving them in crazy ways to try and end up with 2 large power pylons instead of like 3 of the shorter power pylons. I don't know why I even did this. I guess the bigger ones look kind of nicer and you have more room to walk underneath the lines, but all it's doing is powering the water tanks. Was this really necessary? I'm not convinced that it was, but here we are. All done. There you go. 2 large power pylons for your enjoyment. Oh yeah, that's good. That's so good. I'm very just proud of myself. Time to go back to what I actually need to be doing. Oh wait, just kidding. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna think about hiding the fact that this wall is hovering. This is something that has been bothering me as I've gone along building those shack pieces along the side there. I want to keep them. I like them quite a bit, but we're gonna have to do something to camouflage the fact that they are floating. And I thought maybe the junk fence would be a good way to do this. It wasn't the move, you know, spoiler alert. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to make that work. But the junk fences are kind of cool. I might want to build a fence that goes all the way around Sanctuary and put up more defenses. Get it? Defenses? That's not even a joke. That's just stupid. Anyway, back to power conduits. I think we're going to be able to hook this up to the elevator soon. I don't like how it's crooked, so I'm going to try and get it straight. It's still not really straight. It just gives me the illusion of it maybe possibly, you know, thinking about being straight or considering it. It's not. And we're going to have to remove the whole entire wall to try and make this thing connect. It's just... yeah, it's a pain. That was a pain. That was a painful thing to do. And now how am I going to get that wall back in? I have no idea. It doesn't want to go back in, but it didn't take me long to figure out that it was the ceiling tile that was the issue. So that is fixed. And I am wasting all of my materials on conduit pieces. Girl, stop. All you need to do is slap some power into that elevator. You got this. Put down one of the end pieces. Come on now. Come on now. Oh, you can't do it? You need materials? Okay, back to scrapping the neighbor's houses, I suppose. The old tried and true method of getting everything you could possibly need. And I'm thinking about scrapping even more of this stuff out here because there's just so much. But all I need is this piece. And now we're good. It doesn't look super cute, and I probably will at some point redo it, but for now, whatever. I am just kind of tired of messing with the power lines, and as long as it's working, though now we have to do something about the door, and I want to put a switch on the door so that you can open and close it from the outside via a switch. Don't you think that sounds like it'd be pretty nice? So there we go, we have a switch. How do we power the switch? And how are we going to power the door, for that matter? They're different things. So, guess we'll ride the elevator up and look at connecting to this wall pass that we put down. Because it's like hovering above the ceiling / floor up here. So we should be able to take some of these long bars and connect it, but it's gonna look kind of atrocious. This is supposed to be a bedroom, and I would like to be able to hide these in some kind of meaningful way. Though, to be honest, I know in my heart of hearts that I'm not going to probably be making the second floor right now at the moment. At least not with our current sad amounts of material. I mean, I barely have enough copper to make what I'm currently doing work, so I'm not about to try and put anything else together today. I just want to put something here that we can fasten a wire to, that we can also fasten to the power button. I just need it to work temporarily. It doesn't have to be a forever solution. It just needs to work right now so we can have a functioning door. So there's one of the stored pylons. And in theory, this works. No, it doesn't. Okay, I think I missed something. It's the interior one, isn't it? Because this is a powered door. So doesn't it need power on its own? And it probably needs to connect to that switch in order for the switch to actually control the door. Well, all right. How do we want to do this? Because I don't really want to connect it to this because that's going to look awful. And I already made the ceiling look so ugly. Okay, let's look at what we have available. Maybe we could put something stealthy over here to connect it to? Or actually, can we just connect it to the switch itself? Like if I take the wire and we carry it all the way around, maybe it'll go through the building into the switch. There we go. Okay, great. So this works. Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go. It's working. Look at that. Don't you love it? Oh, you love to see it. You love to see a working door. And this means that I can go inside and I can actually put that wall in place so that we don't have a giant hole out anymore. I'll also move his welcome mat out here so he's ready to welcome people into his store, even though I can't really build him the store stuff yet. That's okay though. I'm sure he's happy just to have a place where he can live and people that he can talk to. I'm gonna talk to him myself sometime soon, though I'm not going to do it right now. At the moment, I'm too preoccupied with trying to make this wall face the opposite way because I don't like how it's twinning with that other piece of wall over there. That bothers me a little bit, but you know, it seems like it's going to be harder to fix than it's worth, so I'll just leave it the way it is and slap on the final two pieces of roof to call the lower floor completed. And with that done, we're now ready to decorate. I would love to put him a vault statue in here because it's so fitting for him, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to leave most of the finer decorating for later whenever we have the bigger pieces in place, such as his storefront, which we can't put, and probably some crafting, which I also can't put. Oh, well, it was worth looking at least. And I want to put him some signs up. And yeah, we're totally going to give him like furniture and all that, but I think probably what we need to start with is giving him a bed because we never got around to making the upper floor his living space. So I guess he's going to be living down here, at least right now, and that's okay. It's safe down here. It's not totally terrible. It's better than where he was. Maybe we can even wall off his bed so that he can have a bit of privacy while he's sleeping. Easier said than done, it seems. I'm going to try and put this one just like right there. And that even hides a little bit of that annoying conduit. But it's not super cute this way either. Can we put doors inside? It seems like walls with doors don't want to be placed inside. And that's not really happy making for me. But I guess it could be worse. He still has some measure of privacy that way. And I guess I'll furnish the place a bit. I like some of these modern looking chairs and stuff. Well, I say modern, but really they're more mid-century modern, but that's modern in the Fallout universe, you know? I'll put a bench over here. We might have like a little breakfast nook. Maybe the other settlement dwellers can come over here and grab a bite to eat before they go have a hard day of listening to Marcy and existing in her general vicinity or something like that. We'll put some mats down here too. We don't want anybody slipping and sliding if they come in out of the rain. And I know there was a more beautiful looking option for the mats, but I'm not trying to make it look super perfect in here. I'm trying to make it look lived in. I would love to put some of these shelves in, but I feel like they're kind of too big for the space I've made, and I don't know if I can stock them with anything. So I'm gonna try and favor pieces of furniture that I feel like can have some kind of use. And I know that's not these bookcases. They aren't particularly useful, but if we stand them together like that, we can pretend that is the storefront until we can make a real storefront later on. I don't think that's a terrible idea. We'll put some more mats leading right up to the counter, and why don't we decorate just a small amount? I'll give him a happy flag. And is that it? Is there anything else that I want to do for him at the moment? I am going to restore the in-game audio for you because it's raining and it just sounds so nice, and we can have a little look around because I think I'm going to call that good. I think I'm going to call that done. And you can kind of see what I've built here. Look, you can see the interior. It kind of looks like a shop. And it's cute. What do you think? Do you like it? I like it. I do really like it. I'm very happy. I want to decorate more, but the place is still so unfinished that I don't feel like I should bother with that until I have more of the larger features in place. We could hang some flags in here. He already has that Jangles the Moon Monkey blanket hanging up at the front, which is my favorite. But we could put this here. Do we want to? He already has another flag. I think I'll save that for another time. Look at him sitting over there. He doesn't even know that all of this is for him. Everything is for him. And we'll build him more whenever we have more supplies. We have so many sign options. Look at all these. Oh, hot dogs. That could be fun to put in there. Why is this one not showing up? Oh, there it is. Nuka-Cola floats. Oh, yeah. He needs a sign for that in here for sure. I bet he'll sell those whenever he can sell things. Like, not really. Like, I'm not saying we'll be able to buy that from him. I'm using my imagination to pretend that he will give everybody here a float. Except Marcy, who can float along. As far as I'm concerned. Float along somewhere else. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's probably kind of mean, right? But anyway, whatever. There we go. It's all done. He has a nice house, and I have a nice house. Look, we're going to walk in, and the rain's not even going to be coming through the roof. How cool. I think today was a huge success. I got so much done. I feel really fulfilled with what we're doing for Sanctuary, and even though we didn't complete that whole building or our whole house, that just gives me something I can look forward to doing some other time. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know what you thought about this video. There was a whole lot of editing work that I put into it, so I really hope that you like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.